In this video, I want to share my thoughts on why some women betray men in relationships. There are a lot of people who, in my opinion, often confuse cause and effect. I'll talk about the main and only reason why, in my humble opinion, this happens. If you do a search online, you can find many examples of reasons for female betrayal. Let's start by breaking down some of them and why they aren't actually the real reasons. Then we'll move on to the main reason that I want to discuss. A common reason you can see on various websites is that the man became a tyrant. So it turns out that a woman betrays a man because of his bad treatment of her. But there's no connection here, and that is not the reason. Let me explain why. When a man treats a woman badly, or when a woman treats a man badly, it's a sign that there are big problems in that relationship. And that could be a reason for breaking up. But certainly not for betrayal. And if we're looking at a situation where a woman continues to stay in a relationship with such a man, doesn't leave him, and is looking elsewhere, well, overall, I'd say they deserve each other. Another so-called reason is the absence of the emotions that were there before and the onset of boredom in the relationship. The truth is, many men and women expect relationships to provide bright, intense emotions all the time, or at least most of the time. And even if they don't consciously expect that, they also don't realize that intense emotions in any relationship fade to a certain level over time. It's like when the waves at sea subside and the water becomes calm. Now, it's a different story if that sea completely dries up and you feel absolutely nothing for the person anymore. And again, that is a reason to break up or to take some kind of action to solve the problem. And in the context of the topic we're discussing, if a woman stays in a relationship where she feels nothing for the man and at the same time is seeing another man to experience intense emotions, well, I consider that to be an excuse. Another one of the supposed reasons described in some articles is that a woman is finding herself by doing this. No joke, someone actually wrote that in all seriousness. Usually, people find themselves when they try out different types of work or hobbies. But here, we have this rather peculiar form of finding yourself. The explanation that follows suggests that while playing the role of wife or mother, a woman might come to the realization that she's losing herself. Like she might get confused by these different ways of expressing herself. And that another man can untie this knot by awakening a sense of freedom. I haven't come across such nonsense in a long time. Do I even need to explain that this sounds like an attempt at justification? And a very poor one at that. Anyway, there's a huge multitude of these imaginary reasons, and I see no point in listing them all. So, what in my opinion is the main and only reason for female betrayal? To be honest, I'm not a fan of quotes, but that quote you can see on the screen right now is something I think every man should keep in mind. I have seen a woman who cheated 1,000 times. I have seen a woman who never cheated at all, but I have never seen a woman who cheated only once. Omar Khayyam. What meaning can we draw from it? There are women who will not betray a man, despite the presence of those formal reasons I described above, or any others. Because you can come up with 1,000,000 reasons if you want to. You could come up with 5 different ones for every single day. For such women, the very idea that they could or have the right to betray a man simply does not fit into their worldview. On the other hand, there are also women who do allow for this possibility. In their value system, it is not something unacceptable. The only thing that might stop these women is the absence of any reason at all. And as we know, you can invent as many of those as you want. You can find a ton of them on the internet too. In my opinion, these reasons are needed simply to justify oneself to oneself and to society. Like, it's not that I'm that kind of person, but there were these and these reasons. If those reasons hadn't existed, then I would have been faithful.